Speaker of the House Mike Johnson was pressed by CNN about comments from Donald Trump about the Epstein files. And Donald Trump has been calling the Epstein files a hoax, the whole investigation a hoax, and things like that. And when pressed about it, Mike Johnson said, well, he's not saying that the Epstein files themselves are a hoax. What's going on there, that was tragic. They were victims and all of this. What's a hoax is what the Democrats are saying about Donald Trump being in the files. Donald Trump was actually a FBI informant. Now, there's no evidence of Donald Trump being an informant, but Speaker Johnson is trying to say that Donald Trump was an FBI informant to help take down Jeffrey Epstein. Now, Donald Trump himself has never made that claim. And you would think if this were true, Donald Trump would have been campaigning on it, on releasing the Epstein files, because he was an informant and he was so great in helping take down Epstein for all of the evil things that he did. But he's never said it. He's never taken credit. This is Mike Johnson saying that. Now, Mike Johnson has been trying to buck any sort of initiative to release the Epstein files. There's currently a discharge petition. They are trying to get enough signatures together, and it's only going to take a few Republicans and all Democrats to get it across the threshold so they can actually force a floor vote in the House that would force the DOJ to release the Epstein files. Now, of course, that would have to get through Congress. It would have to get through both houses, and I believe Donald Trump would have to sign it, which probably wouldn't happen. But if he vetoes it, I think that would gain steam in the House and the Senate to get more people on board, and they may be able to override that veto. But they are trying to limit the investigation into the Epstein files. Mike Johnson didn't want to hold a vote on it before their August recess. They even left town a couple days early to avoid talking about Epstein, to avoid talking about the files and all of that. Now he's coming up with this Donald Trump is an informant message. What he needs to remember is the cover-up is often worse than the crime itself. And I'm not trying to say that what the victims of Jeffrey Epstein and all of the people who he trafficked these young girls to, these children to, wasn't horrific. But the cover-up of trying to protect everybody that's in this list is going to be ultimately just as bad or worse for people politically and legally, because these are fresh crimes that maybe where the statute of limitations maybe had ran out on other things. But there's no evidence that Donald Trump was ever an informant. Donald Trump himself isn't claiming to be an informant. This is something Mike Johnson made up to distract from what's really going on.